Today, I'm going to show you the 3 AI workflows that transformed my business. Not the flashy stuff you see online, but the practical things that actually helped me earn more and get more done. And the third one is the biggest reason that I'm able to publish consistently without burning out. If you're new here, hi, I'm Samantha. I teach practical AI workflows that help you think better, work faster, and build real leverage in your business. And if you want more simple and actionable ways to use AI to grow your business, go ahead and subscribe. It really helps the channel. All right, let's jump in and I'll show you the first workflow. So let's start with what I call the double agent method. Instead of relying on one AI tool to do everything, you make 2 models work together like teammates, leveraging the unique strengths of each one. And here's how I use this method to create really well-researched long-form content like YouTube video scripts or blog posts. So we're going to start here in ChatGPT. And as you can see, we're going to be using ChatGPT and Claude together. First step in this is to research our topic using ChatGPT's deep research mode. I'm going to use a topic that I'm very familiar with because that's helpful for me to understand if the research is on point and accurate. So I'm going to give it a simple command now. I'm going to try and use voice dictate. Hopefully this works. I want you to research the process involved in getting the D7 visa for Portugal, full stop. Please draw on reliable sources and give me all the different factors necessary for people to apply for and get this visa and use it to get residency in Portugal, full stop. If you have any questions, please ask me before you get started. Note, comma, this research will be used to create either a YouTube video or a blog post for my channel, full stop. Okay, so I put this prompt in. As you can see, I've given it quite clear instructions and given it some context as well, telling it what I'm going to use the research for. So this is a short prompt, but it should be enough to get good results. So importantly, you need to go to the plus sign here and switch on deep research mode. Now, when you put deep research mode on, ChatGPT will go online and pull a whole bunch of sources to help it create your answer, and it will generate this in-depth research document, which we can then export as a PDF and use as the basis to create our piece of content afterwards. So I'm going to switch on that now. Here you go. We're going to just use, we're just going to use web search for now. We can also connect to these different sources, but web search is what we want at the moment. So with that switched on, I'm going to hit enter and let it do its thing. Let's see if it asks us any questions. Okay, so it's asked us 5 questions, and I'm just going to give it more information here. Yes, retirees and digital nomads. But I think just retirees because that's what the visa is the right fit for. 2, okay, and US. So that's the usual target audience. And I've chosen this topic because I have another channel on this topic, so it's something I know very well. Only 2025 because we want it to be recent. Should I include practical tips, common pitfalls, or cost breakdowns? Yes, that's going to be useful. Just give me a comprehensive research. Terrible at typing. Okay, let's say investors. Okay, so we've given it just numbered short answers to its questions, and this should be enough to help it tailor our research appropriately. So let's hit enter now and let it do its thing. So it's going to take a while to do this, so I'm just going to pause the video and we'll come back and pick up again once everything is complete. So here we are back in ChatGPT, and that actually took 15 minutes. Here you can see for the research to be completed. So I was able to grab a coffee during that time, have a little walk around while it was doing its thing. And I came back and I got this. So quickly just scroll through and show you. This is quite a comprehensive piece of research that it's pulled. You've got loads of detail here, and this is a really good starting point for writing or creating a piece of content, either a video or a blog post about this. What I like best about it is that you can see the process here on the side. So you can look at these links, and I know a lot of these websites already from my previous work, so I can tell when it's a reliable website. Okay, so these sources look really decent and pretty trustworthy. So I will be really happy with the quality of this research. And as you can see, it's pretty much covered everything that we need for this visa, even the documentation checklist, the application process step by step. So So really, like this is very complete. The problem is that it's kind of not very elegantly written. And if we're going to do a blog post or a script, we need to play around with the formatting and make it more suitable for those different mediums. The best way to do this is with Claude. I always find Claude is the best fit for all kinds of writing and content creation tasks rather than ChatGPT. It's because I find it more natural and less robotic sounding. So to do that, we need to get this piece of deep research out of ChatGPT so we can use it in Claude. And to do that, you hit this little button at the top here and click download. And that will download the whole thing as either a PDF or a Word document. And we're going to go for a PDF. It's just easier to deal with. Okay, so that has been downloaded. And now we're going to go to Claude. And this is a new window in Claude. I'm going to click this and upload a file. Find the research. Here it is. And attach that to our Claude window. And then I'm just going to put a simple prompt into Claude to instruct it to use that research to create the piece of content that we want. And I think we'll start with a YouTube video script and see what it produces from that. So I'm going to put on my voice dictate. I want you to use this deep research as a starting point to create a YouTube video script for my channel on moving to Portugal, full stop. I want to fully script the introduction and the conclusion and have the rest of the structure as bullet points, full stop. Make sure the introduction has a compelling hook that retains the viewer and also lets them know they're in the right place, full stop. Make sure the conclusion contains a call to action to like the video and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so this is quite simple. Let's just switch off the voice dictate. So we've given it some context here for my channel on moving to Portugal. And we've given it some quite clear instructions. I normally like to script the introduction and the conclusion like verbatim, like fully, so I can just read it out and then have the rest of the structure as bullet points so I can talk around them. So let's see what it produces from this. It might not get it completely right first time, but let's give it a chance and see what it comes up with. So let's hit enter. That's everything we need. Let's go. As you can see, it already knows some things about me. It knows my name. It knows that I'm in Madeira. So this is pretty good. I think, I will be able to read this quite nicely as the introduction to a YouTube video. And then as I instructed it, it goes into the main content here as bullet points. What it's done is it's taken that deep research and it's divided it up into a coherent structure in a way that makes sense. We can be pretty confident that the information here is accurate because, as you can see in ChatGPT, pulled it from these reliable sources across the web and it's used it to assemble this report. So this is a really good way of quickly researching different topics that you want to talk about in content without spending hours and hours and hours going through online resources. As you can see, it's divided it into these sections. So we've got section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then a conclusion. And as you can see, it is scripted out the conclusion as I told it to do. And has it given a CTA? Yep. If you found this breakdown valuable, hit that like button. It helps other people find accurate information and subscribe. Yeah, this is really good. Like I would probably be able to use this script to make a YouTube video immediately without even much tweaking. I think this is really spot on. So, probably I would check these bullet points to make sure there's nothing missed out or nothing that we don't really need, but yeah, this is really complete. What we can do is just open up a new document here and we can grab this whole thing from Claude, just copy that, grab that whole thing and just put it into a Google Doc. And we've got a very comprehensive video script here. Let's call it video script. So if you're doing YouTube, this workflow will really help you to produce scripts based on original research more quickly. You can also use it for blog posts as well. All you would have to do is just the same process, plug in the deep research from ChatGPT, exactly the same document. And instead of asking it to create a YouTube video script, you would just give it some instructions to create a blog post. And if I were doing this, I would probably start with asking it to outline the blog post. And then I would probably fill in each section, work with it to fill in each section one at a time. But you could equally give it a try to make it create the whole blog post off the bat. As it's got plenty of source material here, it's likely to do a pretty decent job of that. So yeah, that's what we call the double agent method. And it's been really helpful in helping me manage 2 YouTube channels and grow one of them to over 5,000 subscribers at the moment. And yeah, just keep a constant stream of content flowing through. All right, let's have a look at the next one. So this second workflow is another big favorite of mine, and I call it the reverse engineer trick. It's basically how I teach Claude what good, well-structured content looks like, instead of just asking it to guess and relying on the training data that it already has. Take a high-performing framework from somewhere online, usually from some top creator or other expert in their field who has really nailed the format of posting. And I feed a few examples to Claude, and I ask it to reverse engineer that structure and tone. So let's jump in and I'll show you exactly how that process looks. Okay, so for this demonstration, we're going to be focusing on LinkedIn, but you can actually use this same technique for any other kinds of posts or content that you want to use as an example. But I'm using LinkedIn because it's really good for growing your business and for getting leads. What we want to do is to capture 2 to 3 examples of really well-structured LinkedIn posts that perform well and bring in lots of inbound leads. So I've already prepared 3 from creators that do a good job of this. So this first one is from Jesse, and I'm just going to screenshot his post here. This is the easiest way to get it into Claude. So we grab that, go over to Claude, just drag it in. Then we go back to the next one. This is a bit of a long one, but hopefully I can capture it clearly enough for Claude to be able to read it all the way down. It should be enough to give it the gist. And then we put that into Claude, drop it, drag and drop. You can also use the plus sign, but drag and drop's pretty easy when you're doing screenshots. And then this final one is from Nick, who does some really awesome content and is a great example to follow. And we're just going to grab that snapshot here. And again, drag that into Claude. Okay, so we haven't given it a prompt yet, but we've already given it 3 examples of the kind of LinkedIn posts that we want to help us emulate. Now I want to tell it to capture the structure of these posts and give me a summary of why they work and a template that I can use for my own posts. So let's tell it what to do. Please analyze these 3 posts from LinkedIn and explain to me why they work well, what are the components that perform well on the platform, ? I want you to also help me turn the learnings from these posts into a reusable template that I can use to plug in my own topics and create my own high-performing LinkedIn posts in the same style, full stop. The posts should all be geared towards giving away a valuable lead magnet and encouraging people to comment on the post to get the lead magnet, which then leads to boosting the reach of the post, full stop. Please make sure you give special attention to the hooks. Make sure to provide a strong formula in the template for compelling hooks, full stop. Okay, let's see if this works. You can also copy paste the text of these posts, but recently I've just been screen grabbing images and it seems to understand that just as well, and it's more convenient than copy pasting. Okay, so it's already done it pretty quickly this time. These 3 posts share a powerful formula that drives engagement. So number 1, pattern interrupt hooks. This is really important because when people are scrolling on LinkedIn, you need to be interrupting that scroll pattern with something that really jumps out at them. These are bold claims that people are making here, but they also have social proof, like multiple 6 figures, 200 plus viral short form clips, and helping over 2,000 people get their first AI automation client. As you can see, these are really compelling and they do a good job of interrupting the pattern and stopping the scroll and making people click on them. They also build authority through specificity, so the real numbers, the amount of time they spent, and concrete results that feel authentic. And this is really, really important. Problem agitation structure is kind of a contrarian positioning, like we're showing why a common thing doesn't work and positioning that solution as the alternative. So that's one structure that people use. And then there's a value forward positioning, which people often use as well, saying that, this is worth $1,000, but I'm giving it away for free. And sometimes this is BS, let's be honest, but it does create perceived value while also building goodwill. It does work really well still in these kind of posts. It's given a few more things here. It's talking about the call to action and strategic formatting. Okay, I think it's captured a pretty good overview of why these 3 posts work. And it's done all that just from looking at my 3 screenshots. And now it's given me a reusable LinkedIn template with this formula. Here's the pattern It's given me, I think, 3 patterns for hooks. Nope, 4 patterns. And a bridge paragraph there, credibility stack, problem agitation, the reveal, the discovery section, and the value anchor, and the call to action. Okay, so that's pretty comprehensive. Wow, it's going on and on and on. I want it to give me the whole template in a way that I can easily capture and store to be reused. Let's ask it to do that. Please give me the full template in one prompt that I can store in Google Docs or use as part of a Claude project so I can easily repeat these results as much as I want, full stop. Let's see what it comes up with now. I have to give it a little time to write this, but it's quite fast. It's definitely faster than ChatGPT's deep research mode. That takes enough time to make a good coffee. So once I've got this information, I can use it to create a repeatable framework like in a Claude project here, so that I can just plug in the idea that I want to talk about and it's going to run it through this format. Or I can also just slap this whole thing into Google Docs and have it saved so I can use it when I need it. Or I could just go back to this chat each time and ask it to use the formula that we created together to create a new LinkedIn post on this topic. Okay, so I'm going to capture the whole thing. I'm just going to store it in a Google Doc. It's a pretty long doc. Let's just give it a title. So we've been able to store that, and we can now use it again and again to create as many posts as we want. Let's do a little test on it now. Please use the template to create a suitable post that gives away my LLM SEO playbook, which has driven over $100,000 in revenue for my clients, full stop. So it's smashing out that post here really quickly. It's finally given us the results here. So the hook's quite nice. I hated SEO is dead takes until my clients made $100,000 plus from AI search. Okay, so as you can see, it's really copying the template here. It's got this contrarian take, and then it's got this social proof thing my clients made, this X amount, this specific amount from AI search. And then it goes into more social proof here, more specificity with the amount of time, 200 hours plus of testing. So again, it's really going hard on that social proof stuff. Most SEO consultants would charge 5K plus for this intel. And so it's really giving this perception of great value here. So yeah, I think this is really nice. It gives a playbook, drop playbook below as the keyword. And yeah, this is amazing. I would be able to use this. I might trim it down a little bit. It's maybe a tiny bit long. But yeah, once I had the playbook ready, I could just copy paste this pretty much into LinkedIn and use it as is. So yeah, that has just come from 3 quick screenshots of good examples and run them through Claude. It's created a reusable template so I can do these really powerful posts for myself. So yeah, that's the second method. And finally, we're going to dive into the third method and I'll walk you through how that works. So that's the reverse engineer trick. And you're not copying this content. Instead, you're copying the format and the thinking patterns and adapting them for your own ideas. So you let AI study what's already working for that particular platform and algorithm, and then you can reuse those insights in your own voice. Next up, let's look at the third workflow. Now, this one is super simple, but it's incredibly effective. The third secret AI workflow is what I call the thought distiller system. It's basically how I take my own creative and messy ideas and quick voice notes and turn them into polished writing, so I don't ever have to face a blank page and I'm never lost for inspiration. Basically what I do is I just take my phone and I dictate a voice note either through voice to text or voice recording. I capture that in AI and then use that as the kind of foundational material for the AI to take it and turn it into a structured post. So I'm going to just quickly show you how that works. Okay, so for this one, we are going to start in Slack. So I'm just going to open up my Slack and show you. I just use Slack because when I'm on the go or I'm taking a walk on the seafront or something like that, it's really convenient just to pull out Slack and voice dictate my note into Slack, just as you can see here. You can also use Apple Notes or Google Docs or whatever, but I just find Slack is really convenient for this, and it also plugs in very easily to automation workflows in Make.com and NA10. So anyway, to save you having to listen to me ramble out a voice note, I already rambled out one before making this video. So as you can see, it's just one big chunk of text. It's not formatted in any way for LinkedIn, but it's supposed to be basically a brain dump of some idea that came to mind that I want to turn into a post. So what we're going to do is copy paste this, put it into ChatGPT. We could also use Claude, but recently I've come to find that ChatGPT is a little better, I think, for creating LinkedIn posts compared to Claude. So I'm going to give it a chance to do this. Okay, so I've copy pasted that into ChatGPT. I'm going to give it just a really simple instruction here to use this to create a LinkedIn post. There's a lot more I could do to really fine-tune this LinkedIn post. Like I would want to write an extensive prompt probably to capture this voice note. But for the sake of this demo, I'm just going to use a very quick and simple prompt and just see what ChatGPT comes back with based on the information that it has here from this idea. So let's just hit enter and see how well it does right off the bat. So it's taking my idea, this messy block of text, and it is building it into a LinkedIn post. So let's have a look at this. Okay, here's the hook. This is not too bad. Kind of a contrarian view, and it's got some social proof here with the 1,000 AI prompts in the last 6 months. It's got some bullet points. It's broken down into like a nice short sentence thing. There's a few emojis here, which I would probably take out. But yeah, I mean, this is a reasonably decent LinkedIn post. So basically the concept here, the core concept is that we're taking a messy idea that we just spew out into our phone or into a note, and we run that through AI to impose a framework on it that's going to make it perform well in whatever format we need. You could actually make a voice note into other kinds of content as well. It could be a Facebook post, a YouTube video even, or the starting point for one. It could be a blog post. It could be an email newsletter. This starting point is very flexible. And the really great thing is that if you approach your content creation in this way, you don't have to rely on the AI creating generic stuff that's just pulling from its own knowledge base. You're actually giving it your own creative ideas, but you're using it for the role that it does best, which is to actually put the structure onto your own idea. This is how I always use AI. It's very rare that I ask it just to give me a post from scratch on X topic. I always like to think about what I want to say and just give it the information like this, which only takes like a minute, you know, and you can do it while walking around, while walking the dog, having coffee in the morning, whatever, well, whenever you tend to get inspired. So yeah, I find this really valuable. If you want to go a step further with this, you can actually build it into an automation with make.com. And I've actually got another video here that shows you how to do that. And you can capture one voice note, feed it into an automation, and have it automatically create content for a bunch of different platforms like LinkedIn, your email newsletter, Facebook, Twitter, potentially others. The sky's the limit, really. But it's very effective, and it always means that you are being your most authentic and your most creative. So this messy voice note to structured post workflow, the thought distiller system, as I like to call it, is the workflow that's really moved the needle for me. It's helped me to publish more consistently on LinkedIn. I've grown an audience of about 25,000 now, and I regularly get leads from that channel. It's helped me to build thought leadership by showing up with strong ideas. And at the end of the day, to ultimately attract clients who truly understand the value of what I do. And that is so valuable in this age of AI generic crap. It's really valuable to still use AI, but to get your own ideas out there more quickly and more efficiently, and saving yourself time. So that's a quick walk through the AI workflows that have genuinely changed how I work in my business. And if you find this useful, please give the video a like. It really does help. Feel free to subscribe to my channel for more practical ways to use AI in your business. And if you'd like my support in training your team, coaching you as a founder, or bringing AI into your organization in a more structured way, then there's a link in the description where you can book a free call with me. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.